This is my first time out for a proper ride on the bobber since getting it back from the insurance. So I'm effectively, the goal today is to burn off as much fuel that's in the tank, because that tank has been the same fuel for about the last 3 months. So it's out for a ride with the bobber, and unfortunately it's a little bit damp and the bike's getting a little bit dirty, but that just means I get to have the joy of giving it a proper clean when I get back to the house. So the first question is, the insurance company, did they do a good job of repairing all the bits? Yes. I couldn't see any flaws when it came back. What was interesting is this exhaust pipe, slightly different colour than this one, because this one has more heat changed by the heat, and this one obviously being a new pipe there was different. But otherwise couldn't tell the difference. Bike looking brand spanking new. So well done to the guys that did all the repair work for there. The actual insurance or the claims management company, that's another kind of thing to talk about in the future. And even the third-party insurance company was trying to still claim it should have been a write-off, but that's not important. The other thing is, coming back to this, 70 horsepower, 100 and something Newton meters, compared to the sports bikes which I was riding, the Honda CB1000R, 140 horsepower, the Suzuki GSX S 1000 GT, 150 horsepower, also around about 100 Newton meters of torque, but at completely different rev ranges. What's it like coming back to a bobber which is much lower down, much more raw as it were, much less high revving? Is there a drop in enjoyment? Is there is it not as fast? Is it not as fun? That was kind of my worry when it came back. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's gonna be so slow, and it is. So without any lies, this is a lot slower than the sports bikes. That's a bit of a yeah duh response to that, isn't it? Kind of cruiser bobber motorbike is a little bit slower than a sports bike. However, the question about enjoyment, is the enjoyment any less? Actually, where this really succeeds is the enjoyment at slower speeds. The 30 to 50, the 30 to 60 miles an hour, rolling on the accelerator, hearing that burbling away is so enjoyable, so nice, so pleasurable. Additionally, just the looks of it again. So I'm very much like a magpie. I like things that look nice and pretty, and for me, I am literally opening the garage door and just coming in and looking at this bike every time it's in the garage. A couple of days goes by and I haven't ridden it, I'm like, oh, I need to go for another. Just look at the bike, just turn it on. Just the sound of it turning on is just so good. Just there, and then pressing. Just this low down burble is just awesome. And then you're sometimes in the garage just does the business for me. So yeah, the whole question of, is it still enjoyable compared to the sports bikes? Absolutely, in a completely different way, and possibly a safer way, which I'm less likely to lose my driving license on, because I'll be doing a lower speed. But this just feels awesome and powerful even at slow speeds. Anyway, the wind is too annoying just now, so I'm off to keep on burning up some fuel. Yeah, the wind is definitely a bit crap. So the bike is still to go in for its first service. So for the Triumph bobber, it's or I think with most Triumphs actually, it's 600 miles. The first 600 miles they give you a new service, and then it's once every 10,000 miles or just yearly. And so I'm trying to get, I've just passed the 600 miles, but they said I could do up to about 1,000 before anything's of any interest. But I just feel so bad getting this bike dirty and wet. I feel so sorry for him. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy doing a proper clean of him later on today. because he looks so good, you know, if he didn't look good, then I wouldn't bother cleaning him. Now that if this was in my motorcycle test, that's a total fail. I couldn't do a U-turn there. This bike just doesn't have the turning circle of other ones. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Also, the riding just now is much more chill, also because it's kind of winter time. In fact, that reminds me, I need to put my rucksack on. Because it's kind of winter time and the roads are wet, the roads are pothole-tastic, other drivers are blinded by the sunshine. It's definitely good to not drive or ride like an absolute hooligan. So it's, yeah, as I say, it's a much more chill riding experience, but yet still manly, still aggressive, still just dawdling along it. Oh yes, it feels so good. This is a bike that you don't need to be going fast at all to get maximum enjoyment. The whole acceleration pull that you get is really just kind of icing on the cake. You know, you don't need to, like, I could happily spend the whole day second and third gear pootling around at 2,000, 3,000 revs, never accelerating, just enjoy, well, apart from every time I go underneath the tunnel doing that. Well, doing that after I go through every tunnel, even in a bridge, got a nice echo of the sound here, let's. Fuck, that's so good. And these are the stock exhausts, that's the thing. Like on a Harley or something like that, you definitely want to put, I think you can even make these exhausts even better as well, maybe not the Euro 5 exhaust rules, but these just as they are, straight from the shop, there's no need for me to do any altering, any modifying. Yeah, the seating position as well, massive difference from the sports bikes. So low, it was actually kind of shocking when I kind of got back on. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so low down. My knees are so high up, but they're not tucked under, so I don't have any ankle like twistiness. My knees are really forward rather than kind of tucked underneath me, so I get no hip pain or hip joint, or was it bum abductors or whatever it is. So all that is, for me, this is a very comfortable ride, very commanding ride as well. This position where my hands are, how upright I am, it's a commanding position. Oh my god, these roads. I hit the motorway earlier today, and the motorway is definitely more of a sucky place to ride this bike. Especially when you hit any bumps. Oh god, these, oh my god. I thought out of the countryside it might be a bit better. Also, there is very much a feeling of lugging the engine, or I don't know whether it's the torque is so good at, if you're in a high gear, for example third gear here, doing under 30 miles an hour and jamming on, oh yeah, jamming on the throttle, there is a real kind of like feeling, which I know you're not meant to do, and proper lugging is, you know, when you're down at like 1,000 revs and all that kind of stuff. But there's a real, you feel each explosion from the engine pushing you forward. Especially with all its torque so low down. Oh my god, you need to be so on the bloody ball to ride these roads over these potholes in the wet, in the cold, in the wind, and not hit every fucking pothole. Again, I think the suspension of the actual bike, the front suspension, the rear suspension are doing a great job. Like my mirrors are a big surprise again to me. No vibration in them at all. I don't know how they make that so good. Like the sports bikes, they were just a blurry mess. Couldn't see anything in them at certain speeds. These absolutely rock solid still. So whatever dampening it is that's done through the handlebars is just great. Down here. And bangs on the overrun is so good when you come off the throttle. and it's still like popping away. Oh, it's so good. I'm going to go up this road to the right, which should be a nicely tarmac road. However, because it's wet, because there's possible mud on the road, it's possibly slippy and wintry, I'm a bit nervous to go any sort of speed on it. But where it's straight, I'll give it some gentle throttle, like here, second gear. Definitely the rear brake is very weak compared to the sports bikes. The sports bike's rear brake was far more powerful, so maybe I just need to break this rear brake in a bit more. Can't tell what's coming over, gotta be careful, gotta be careful. Oh yes. Okay, this next bit. Nice. Smooth road here. Woo! Oh, beautiful! The leaves coming down. Don't want to ride in the leaves area in the middle of the road, that'll be slippy. What a nice place to be. Just looking at that view. Well, now to go make some noise through it.